Welcome to the ETF2L Prolands Test Cup. This is Essentials.tf. I am Beater. We have Gemm on production, and joining me in the co-casting chair tonight is Nuze. So how are you doing, Nuze? Are you ready for some Badlands?
I'm good, yeah. I would like to see some of this Prolands map in its latest iteration with no solid spider webs. And yeah, I want to see like how it plays out compared to regular Badlands, because I know not a lot of people have problems with how that plays in sixes.
Yeah. There is. It got released like an hour ago. There was an update to it where he removed the solid spider web. So there's still a chance that maybe the players haven't been updating their servers with the map. So there's a small chance that we get to see some solid spider web screwing over some players in house. It's very, very niche, but I'm crossing my fingers. But I'm pretty sure that was the only minor bug fix that he did, and everything else is basically like clipping and like removing hiding spots on it. We couldn't quite get Collade in here to talk about the changes he made and why he made them, but you know, we can just do it instead. I don't know. Have you played it, Nuze, at all?
I have not. I think I played a version of Prolands a long time ago, or like I checked it out when it was first released, but I've not played any of the later versions, so I don't really know. I do like the changes that I saw when I checked out the map initially. I like there's a lot of entrances that kind of open up a bit more. Particularly like, at least I hope it's still in the current version of the map, where pushing out of Badlands last on the balcony. It's like a lot more opened up to the trash area. I think that's
yeah, that was an old version. I was about to mention it, but no,
yeah.
Not
So it's been
one.
a while since I've seen Prolands.
Yeah, there's a couple of different players that have taken stabs at it, or maybe it's the same person that tried a lot of different things. But yeah, I definitely also remember the spire area or the balcony being opened up quite a bit, and that wasn't in the latest version. I played it yesterday in a few double mixes,
Okay.
so like that's my only experience with it. But no, I think what he fixed was like clipping on Badlands. Basically, if you're a soldier and you jump train, you can like have like a small chance that your rockets will just do 0 damage, and it's super frustrating. And the same with the train tracks; they can just randomly eat rockets. Pretty sure he fixed that in Badlands House. There's a bunch of like wooden things that are just randomly there that can also eat your rockets. So he fixed all of those small things. And then also he removed a lot of the small little hiding spots. Like in one of the houses on Badlands, there's like this, I don't know, like bison head or something, like a skull that you can just sit on. And it's only in one of the houses. He removed that from the house, so now you can hide nowhere. There's a bunch of lamps you could sit on inside the lobby in Badlands last-ish area, and those have all been made non-solid, I believe. He removed my favorite spot. I'm not sure if you can still hide up in the ceiling on Badlands last, like in the very last, where you can like hide up in the ventilation
in
shafts.
the tube,
yeah. Maybe you can still do that. I don't know. I haven't actually tested that one, but I would assume you actually can't anymore. It seems like you just removed all the weird little hiding spots, and you know whether or not I agree with that, I'm not entirely sure. But you know, it removes some. Yeah, it removes some randomness from the game and as well. But it also makes like it makes it easier to push out because you don't have to check so many blind spots. But it also punishes bad play and players not paying attention. So I'm not sure how I feel about it.
Yeah, I feel like Badlands was always a very good staple map of 6v6, 5CP TF2, but they made a change, Valve that is, they made a change not too long ago, as I'm sure everyone knows, where they decreased the speed of the last point. And that kind of made it a lot harder to push that last. And as a result, you need to kind of rely on the offensive team failing their push quite badly if you're defending and you want to push out. And that's been, you know, kind of a struggling point for a lot of teams in ETF2L at the moment. And I think it's fair enough because it wasn't hard enough last to push successfully before. Now the cap time makes it really hard. So if they're doing a lot of things to address this, then I think it probably plays well in terms of how it affects the flow of the game.
Yeah, I feel like I was one of the few players to actually criticize them lowering the cap time. I didn't like that. I thought it was fine to have it capped super fast. But I think another thing that they changed in the new version is that when you're pushing last and you fail, you have a really short spawn. And it allows you to contest Spire really well, because Spire is pretty difficult to actually get to when you're going from last into Spire. It's basically as easy almost to get from the middle spawn into second spire than it is to go from last into spire. So I think they made the spawn timers a lot better in that regard, and it makes it harder to hold spire. So that makes it easier to push out, and combine that with less hiding spots. I suppose it makes it like a better, more dynamic last. And you can only hope that that succeeds. But let's try to talk about the matchup that we have today, because there's actually two teams that will be playing this. We have two brackets, top stage. I'm not actually sure entirely how this tournament works. I know there's like two high brackets, or top brackets. Like there's a bracket A and a bracket B. And I'm not sure if they're all going to meet and just going to play for seeds, or what's going on exactly, or if only the top two from each group move on, or if they play individual playoffs. I don't actually know. But we will be starting out with Underdogs versus Weebtunnel Tactics. It's a wonderful name change we've got here.
Yeah, I think the bracket, at least how it's worked in a lot of cups in the past in ETF2L, I think it's the top two teams of each of the groups get put into a double elimination bracket. But I'm not certain that's the case in this cup. But yeah, I think we should have a look at some of the players on these rosters. I don't know if we have that available to us just now, but Weebtunnel Tactics, I agree, a nice name change from Lolly Squad.
Yeah, indeed. Do you want to go through the roster on that one, and then I'll do Underdogs, or do you want to do the other way around?
Why don't you do Underdogs?
All right. We'll just start with Underdogs then. They, at least according to what they have listed on their team page, it's Unabled and Gotti on Scout. On Romer we have AMA or AMA. Pocket is Shampoo. Demoman is Demos. That's like the easiest, most matching up name ever. Then on Medic we have Ace. So I'm not entirely sure this actually matches up. Like I know Gotti played Romer for a team I played with. He was like the best Romer ever, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's now the best scout ever. Yeah, and then Shampoo has played a lot of Demo Man before. He's pretty good. Like he basically has Alzheimer's, or no, not Alzheimer's, like Parkinson's disease, right? Where he's just like shaking and then he hits a bunch of pipes. Look crazy. It should be interesting to see him on Pocket doing that, if that's what he's playing. And then Demo Man, Demos. I'm pretty sure he played Demo Man, and he just has no creativity at all.
He's just always played Demo Man.
Yeah, and they also recently added Fluo and Virgo to their roster, two Italians. This is mostly a Romanian team. I know they, for a bunch of seasons, tried to make like a Romanian super team, and it finally might have happened. But maybe there's some Italian influence going on as well. It should be interesting to see. I don't actually know exactly what the rosters are.
Yeah, I'd hope it's somewhat similar to what we're seeing on ETF2L. And then for Weebtunnel Tactics, formerly Lolly Squad, we do, as everyone knows, we have Bloodis and Sheepy on Scouts. Romer being Ignis and Pocket being Tobbs. I think in the last final he was tagged up as Ayat Gink, who had to sub in for them because Tobbs went to bed. We've got Fia on Demoman, also known as Jimbot, and Menti or Mentalex on Medic.
Yeah, Tobbs has never had a normal name in his entire life. It's like you just look at the player on the server with the most cancerous name that's just confusing and annoying to look at, and that's Tobbs. Every single time, without fail.
I think my game might have crashed.
Oh boy. Let's hope that's not the map. It's like he updated the map to crash whenever you join it. I've seen worse things. If he keeps up this kind of thing, he'll probably get hired by Valve before he knows it. But yeah, I can't wait to see this. It should be pretty interesting. I definitely think that Weebtunnel Tactics are the favorite team. They're the most established team, and they have a bunch of heavy hitters on their team. Like Sheepy, it's been around forever. Tops is getting there. Fee or Jimbot, it's also just really good. Gink might one day become a good player. Like he's threatening to do it. He was in Prem. He did okay. Then Bloodies and Menti, just solid players all around. And these guys, did they win high or did they come close?
They did indeed.
They did indeed.
Really close series of games with I think a couple of golden caps, and then the last golden cap, I think it was on Reckoner. if I'm not mistaken, and that was really close, but they managed to tie that out in the end after like so many really close last pushes that were failed and that kind of thing from both teams. It was a really back and forth game. Bloodius actually had a really good game in the final map of that final. I think he had so many high impact plays. I'd like to see the same for him again, because he's not one of the star players for this team usually, but I think when he does have big performances, it's very important for the team. I think usually those roles are Sheepy and Fia. They're the guys that tend to frag. Ignis also hit some nice shots. He had a really good air shot in the final as well, but I'm not sure if you saw that.
I added it to a video. He sent it to me, so I did see it.
Oh yeah.
Man, I can't download this map. Please let me come back in. My TF2 hasn't crashed, it's just frozen, and it won't let me tab back into it. So we have all sorts of unique issues here.
I'm hoping I can connect. It seemed like my map downloaded, but it's now just trying to connect to the server.
Yeah.
I done that.
Yeah, I just downloaded it. Alright.
Okay.
I still blame Collade. Just, this is all your fault. Somehow. And like, let me close TF2. Come on, man.
Valve's just not on your side right now.
Yeah. Man, just whenever you have to take up your task manager and actually just manually close stuff, that's when you know it's bad.
Yeah, well, I work in IT, Peter. I do this every day.
Oh.
Wow, my game's not responding again.
Yeah. Well, you work in IT, so I'm sure you can figure it out. But I'm sure 90% of your job is just turning things off and then turning them back on again.
Pretty much.
Indeed.
Do we know how many people are on the server just now?
Well, no, I keep crashing. So I have no idea. They could be playing for all I know.
Oh boy. Word on the street is there's 8 players on the server just now.
Oh. Alright, so do you think these guys are going to get tired of actually just playing Badlands? Like, they're just going to play nothing but Badlands all night? You know, I'm glad this is all best of ones. You know,
Yeah.
like, there are worse maps to play all night, but still, you know, at some point, you know, they're probably going to get tired of it, but maybe they're going to just refine it.
Yeah, I think it might get to some of the teams because Lolly Squad were known for a lot of, quite stalematey games and really slow golden cap kind of playmaker situations. And I think if they're playing Badlands the whole day, they might get kind of sick of playing the same situations over and over again. But I think they usually try and mix up what they do, so it's not all going to be exactly the same. I think we're going to see a good variety of play, and I think from playing different enough opponents, like you're saying, it is best of ones. I think that might add enough variety for them to not want to completely quit.
Yeah, it also worth noticing that you can kind of use this as almost like a map talk. Like you can just work out all of your Badlands tactics for the entire season because, it's Prolands, so it might be a little bit different, but any tactics that you come up with now, you can just transfer them to the normal Badlands. No biggie at all. So even if we don't end up using Prolands, everything will just work on Badlands either way. So you can just kind of just get all your Badlands tactics out of the way. You can get a bunch of practice in. You can just get comfortable with it and just use it in the season to come. And Badlands going to be around forever. I don't think that's going to ever be removed. It's sort of the stable map that we have. It's like our Dust 2, basically.
Yeah, it's the quintessential map of 6v6 TF2. Like, I think maybe earlier on, Granary was one of the first maps, but as soon as Badlands started to get played a lot, this is way back, like before I started playing, Badlands was the map. But yeah, like right now it's kind of gone down in a lot of people's opinions, I think.
Yeah.
Over the last few seasons. It used to be a map that most people quite enjoyed, but now I think a lot of people don't enjoy it as much, so it's good that we're seeing a bit of a refreshing take on it, just to throw a spanner in the works, see if there's, things that can be corrected with this Prolands.
Yeah, indeed, and I am still struggling to join this, so just excuse me while I copy and paste a bunch of stuff. Hold on.
I am also still struggling. I have just downloaded the map manually and put it into the maps folder, so hopefully I can try and connect to the game successfully now. I hope we're not missing anything.
Me too, as TF2 is now crashed again. God damn.
Nice, man.
Oh man. Thank God I still have Task Manager open. I feel so prepared. Like this is what TF2 is all about. Trying desperately to close things so you can like unzip things and then like folders and then install maps. This is fun. This is fun, guys, I swear. Like, we don't actually want to see these guys play anyway.
Oh, I think I might be getting some progress. Sending client info. I think the manual download is the key to success. Yeah, I'm on the server.
Oh man, I'm so jelly. I reinstalled it like twice.
Gonna have a fly around the map. See what interesting stuff there is.
Yeah, like Train looks a little bit different now. He added like some, I don't know, some webbing or something to make it kind of obvious, right? Like, you know, he obviously just like made things flat. Like it's just one big flat surface, so you don't have those weird little edges in. But you know, he kind of made it visually out so you can see that there's a small difference. You know, so that's neat, I suppose.
Yeah, it does look mostly the same. There's only very subtle differences, like you're saying, the crate on mid. I'm trying to find that spider's web.
Oh, it's in house when you like you know, when you walk over the bridge and then you walk into the house. Like there's a spider web in the top right corner of one of the doorways. As I am now in the server. Hallelujah. Let's do this.
Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, we've got 10 people on the server just now. I imagine we'd be going live pretty soon after we get 12.
Yeah. Actually, also one of the changes that I'm pretty hyped about all of them is the spire clipping. Like, spire clipping is the worst thing about Badlands. Like, it's the most frustrating thing for sure. You know, it doesn't really change the flow of the map or anything, but if you've ever played MG on Spire, you will just know that if anyone's like standing down in the trash area and try to shoot down, you have to shoot really far away from the edge. Otherwise, like, the edge is just gonna eat it. Because there's just this invisible edge that will just eat everything. You can't shoot down there. So that's really frustrating when the in-world models don't kind of match up with where the invisible walls are. So I'm pretty damn sure he fixed that. I mean, if he didn't, that's a travesty, and we will be bitching about it constantly. But I can't imagine he didn't.
Maybe Spire will turn into the main focus of DM for the map. Maybe that's the area where all the frags happen now, just because of the clipping changes. I'd like to see some fat air shots on Spire, you know?
Yeah, like we all do. That's basically what Badlands, you know, kind of made its fame off of. It had this really nice spire that people could jump up on and then just get all the fat air shots. You know, it's what we want to see happen. So let's see. Just looking at the roster right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like people are not really on the right team, so I can't tell exactly what the class.
I do notice though that I think Fluo and Virgo are playing for Underdogs.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, so definitely
they are both on the server.
Yeah, the initial roster I gave was perhaps not entirely correct. So that's going to be 2 Italian scouts. You know, Italian scouts, they have a tendency to get really good somehow. I'm not sure what they put in the water, but scouts seem to like it. Like, up-and-coming scouts are like a dime a dozen.
It's just the pasta. Yeah, there's nothing in the water, you know. Starch makes you a hit scan gamer, you know.
Yeah, it's like Sorix and Piers, and then like we have now. It's gonna be all of a sudden gonna be Virgo and what was his other name?
Fluo,
right?
Fluoride.
Yeah, that's the one. All right, we are actually gonna go live pretty soon here, so you know that's exciting. Oh yeah, also Spire, like it's completely solid now. There's like a small gap you can actually shoot up and down. Spire through that little gap. That was always kind of cool. But it did mean that sometimes you would jump people, you would try to splash the Spire, and you would just like shoot through it. And that would become really annoying. But Badlands has probably one of the best middles, right? And it has one of the best like middle to second area. Like there's a lot of things you can do around it. I think my biggest issue with Badlands is probably like the sightline from choke to spire, like that whole thing. It's very open, like a sniper can sit there, and then also the resup on second is open, so that means you can kind of use it as a safe area. If that was like closed like it is on Well and a bunch of other maps, I think that would actually make the map better because it would make it more dangerous. But we are live.
Live indeed. I think some of the other roster changes that we didn't pick up on, we've got Mon, Turo, and Tomba playing in for Ignis, Bloodis, and Fia, it looks like. But going into this first mid, I'm going to be watching demos as he tries to take position on this train. Mon and Cheapy setting up for something aggressive. Mon comes in, good damage onto the medic, and Fluoride will go down Menti and Hobbs as well. Really early deaths for Weebtunnel tactics, and it looks like the Underdogs are going to take this mid quite convincingly. I don't know if Virgo does win the 1v1 against Sheepy on the point. 3 of them alive.
They both
Virgo
had
on 8
HP. Yeah, Sheepy also had 8 HP. That was whoever shot first, I think. Or maybe Sheepy hit him for a bit. But that's going to mean that Shampoo's going to move onto the Spire, try to put some pressure on it. He can get pressured off of it pretty easily, and he's not putting a whole lot of time on it. He's going to go for the air shot, though. This is what we wanted to see, and he's going to lose it. Taking a fight like this turned out to be a little bit too optimistic, and then another soldier does get taken down as well. And that means that everyone's going to just move back to middle. Ubers are even, but we do have an Uber advantage right now for Weebtunnel tactics, and they are just going to go into choke, it seems. They don't care one bit, as they just get spammed out quite heavily, though. And this could end pretty badly for them if they're not careful.
As they were coming through the choke there, Sheepy just ran in through Valley, got under the mid, and got onto Ariel.
Menti's so weak.
He's just playing so safe. He doesn't want to use that Uber in the choke. On 61 HP right now. They're just going to be spamming out the players, but there is a scout of Unable behind the in-shit house. I don't know if anyone has seen him. Doesn't get much damage onto the medic, but he gets the force because Menti was weak enough already, so that will be the Uber advantage dwindling away, and we should be on an even situation in terms of Ubers. 2 picks in favor of Weebtunnel tactics, as they will be coming through the choke to take second here.
Yeah, pushing in there on a man advantage, and just Menti holding onto that Uber that really paid off, I think. You know, he did get forced in the end, but just managing to push in there without actually popping Uber, that was really critical. Just really good play from Menti. He's been getting better and better, in my opinion. And, you know, he hit a bunch of really nice arrows as well. Just you can see he has really good coordination with the rest of his team. Good stuff to see. However, Ubers right now are pretty much even. A small advantage on the red side here, but you can't really push out. Not even on Prolands. And like, there's no real difference to that. Sure. So we have a sentry gun on last. We see probably a sniper. Yeah, Virgo's on sniper. And then we just see everyone building outside. They don't want to go in there when they have a small Uber disadvantage. We actually have a banner on one of the soldiers. Is that on top? Yeah, with the absolutely most horrible name. I will just say I called it, right?
Yeah, that is a
Worst
pretty
name
terrible name.
every time.
Yeah, I wonder if Virgo will be able to get the entry pick here. I think he's just looking in main. But if they don't get the opening pick, then I think Tobbs is just going to try and build that banner up. He's spamming from bottom right just now, trying to get some damage off to build that charge. And I'd like to see them do some sort of cycle play with the Uber and the banner once they get both of them. But it is just a question if red team doesn't get the pick first.
Yeah, like usually what you do, like the standard way to use a banner is to just Uber in, exchange Ubers, and then go back outside and then get the banner. They're just going to Uber in first here though, and it's not the soldier that has the banner either, because he can't really do anything to a sentry gun. This has been a complete waste of an Uber. They just got nothing done. Soldier gets stickied out, and it was just a single soldier in. It was so weird. Like against the sentry gun, like he just didn't have enough ammo to do any damage. Oh, but that was a really big Uber
blind
sticky there. Yeah, it was a blind dead too. He didn't see anything.
Yeah, the traps in lobby and he was holding outside, but just managed to get the timing perfectly. I think he could have dropped the med if he had done it a fraction of a second earlier, but it doesn't look like that matters to them. They're taking the banner in top right.
Got a banner in here. Didn't have really anything loaded, but he is very hard to kill. You know, he's got that going for him, and his soldier tries to jump him. And again, they just kind of seem to be playing on their own right now. It's not really very well coordinated. There comes Uber into the lobby and completely catches everyone out. Just a medic there standing next to everyone, and oh, that's a slaughter. That was terrible, just awareness right there. coming out from Weebtunnel tactics, and they're going to get punished for it. And now there's going to be a ton of pressure on Spire. There's going to be a soldier up there, going to be a scout jumping up there as well, and I don't think anyone can really...
Mon's going to last. He's got a 1v1 against the NG, but Soldier of Shampoo is coming to meet him just to defend that last point. I don't know if the back cap the cap time on Mass has changed to make back caps easier, but that's what they were going for there. Now we're sitting on slight Uber advantage for red team. Mon is also down, so no roamer on the flank. I wonder if Fluoride is going to try and make some sort of aggressive play, jumping forward into Valley, but I think the spawners are coming in now, so they're going to cancel that idea and try and get something going. It looks like they're moving towards house here with the medic.
It's a random rocket right there, so he's not going to be able to watch the flank for a short amount of time, and we actually see, yeah, nobody really capitalizes on it. They do have a soldier in the house, like posturing, at least looking like he wants to go, but I think he was just trying to perhaps like bait some eyes away from the flank, but no one has really taken advantage of it either. And we do still have the banner on tops on middle here, so you know, the more spam he gets in, the happier he will be. But let's see, normally in these kind of situations, I always see Shiba just diving in there. That's a suicide to go sniper if I ever saw one. But yeah, maybe we see a counter-attack, maybe not. Looks like so far we have not.
Oh, it looks like Shampoo was going forward a bit into house just to see if he could call anything for Fluoride. Fluoride was coming to meet him, probably getting in position to jump, but by the time he got there, Shampoo died, so the opportunity kind of passed. With 5 seconds on the spawn of Shampoo and Sheepy is on sniper, they've got a bit of time to, you know, pressure the choke, maybe get some sort of sightline that Sheepy can work a pick from. It looks like he's going to be playing from his own train. I don't know if demos... I think he should expect that there's a sniper, and he's seen him now, so I doubt he'll be re-picking it too much. He is trying to put pressure on this sniper quite aggressively.
Yeah, like Sheepy's suicide in there, it was so obvious, right? Like just a scout running in for seemingly no reason and gets picked off against an entire enemy team. Whenever that happens, you're just like 100%, okay, this guy just wants off class, because there's no other real reason. There was no opening that he went on or anything. So of course it's going to be a sniper, and he actually did, like Demos did peek forward. And oh my god, Menzi actually eats a bunch of pipes. That's always kind of scary, because now if anyone decides to just bomb in, like Medic could actually get forced. So even though it seems kind of minor that he just ate like 60 damage from pipes, like that can be really crucial if someone actually dives on it. But Chibi's making his way forward.
Going for the hero shot, he gets launched forward into the choke, but doesn't hit the shot in the fraction of the second that he had to hit it. Demo's trying to peek the choke again. There is quite a lot of stickies on it, and Fluoride's got an opening in from Valley. He has been spotted, so he backs up, and the Uber comes out aggressively for the red team. Banner and Uber being popped to counter it from Weebtunnel tactics as they're rushing through the choke with 4 people here. No one really on the flank, and they're overwhelming Demos. Shampoo's onto Turo at the choke, but he's probably going to go down as well, unless he can hit one more rocket. And he gets Menti.
I think Topples are out of ammo as well, so he was just doing no damage throughout that entire push. And you also see that's going to be a full cleanup right there. We saw them use the banner before the Ubers came in, or basically at the same time. And that's a bit of a waste. You want to use it after. You know, I almost thought it was kind of well timed, because like after the Ubers ended, there was still a bunch of banner left, but then he didn't have any ammo, and the banner ended pretty soon. So far, we've seen a lot of bad coordination. I don't know if it's just the teams are not warmed up, or I don't know if they're just playing at a lower level, or the map is totally confusing to them. Like, who's ever seen this kind of weird Badlands before? I don't know.
I think probably having a few mercs is affecting the general coordination of the team. I think that's probably going to get better as the night goes on, because they'll get a bit more used to it. We do see Demos on the Quickie Bomb launcher, as they do have a 40% advantage. So they should be looking to take this Uber in, probably top left, and get some sort of point play going.
Yeah, you can just keep Demos out in main, and they can just go up top left, put on a ton of pressure, make people walk into spawn, and then just rely on the stickies to hold the point. But then when they blow those, you can just get on the point. And the stickies have blown off, and now 2 scouts are on it. They are getting a ton of time on it. There was a bunch of people being flashed on it, but it will eventually work out. So that was a really nice push, and the quick bombs just had played a major part in that. And they did exactly what I thought they were going to do. So well executed. A bit too much of a flash from the medic, but it worked out really well. And that was a well executed push. It's going to make it 1-1 to the Underdogs, who are the underdogs in this tournament as well. So, you know, they are faring well against these 3 mercs.
Yeah, I don't don't think Weebtunnel Tactics were expecting the quickie bombs, but Demos has gone back to regular stickies for the mid. Menti going up to his choke all by himself. There's a lot of pressure from the red soldiers. A fight happening in the valley as well. Unable is going to win that 1v1 against Mon, and Sheepy winning the counter frag. It's just Sheepy and Tobbs left alive. Tobbs is alone on train, and they've got an opening onto the medic. Good arrow from Ariel, gets a nice surf, gets the saw onto Tobbs as well. He's surely going to go down to Sheepy. So unfortunate after that nice play, and then I think the players left alive will be winning that mid for the Underdogs.
Arrow there being really like the air arrow and then sawing him. That was pretty flashy, and I even thought it was looking pretty good overall for the Weebtunnel Tactics here. Like they did really well. Like they got Sheepy behind, he did a ton of damage, and then they just all of a sudden seemed to collapse and didn't quite focus fire enough to win it.
Well, their med did die a lot earlier, so now they have a 20% advantage, or at least they did when they had spawned, but I think they weren't building it as well. And it looks like Red Team has caught up with that Uber now. Some stickies being placed on the choke for both demos, so I think they're quite content to just hold right now and, you know, catch their bearings before something happens. We have Unabled in forward spawn on Spy, just checking off classes, and I think he knows that there isn't any at the moment, so they're not gonna be afraid of taking some risks, because it's not like they have a sniper or a spy to worry about.
Yeah, and they did indeed not think that they had any Uber advantage. Nothing was pushed on, it seemed, but they are actually just going to go through house here. They haven't, yeah, they didn't call it all. The demo man gets dropped, so it didn't look above the house, and that's all of a sudden looking pretty bad. Ubers would both exchange, and there's a soldier in house here, but they're going to need to get out. Losing that demo like that was very detrimental to their push. And now we're going to see the counter push, I suspect. There's two soldiers at V-sub. Oh my god, Mr. Epic hitting the fat air shot. Completely demolishing the soldier, but wow, Flood actually managed to win that. That was pretty crazy. Mr. Epic hits the big air shot and then just misses a bunch of easy rockets. You can only hit the difficult ones, I suppose, and Spire will go down.
And they are trying to go forward. They've got a lot of position into lobby now. 20% advantage for Red Team. Not really any off classes for Weebtunnel Tactics, and I think that might be a bit of a mistake unless they correct it pretty soon. Sheepy now switching to the engineer, getting a sentry up, but with 85% on Ariel, I think if they would want to use this advantage they would have been going now, so it looks like they're just going to take the safe option and play for some sort of pick here.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what they're going to try to do.
They made the right position here because they've been building really poorly. They actually ended up not getting it as soon as their opponents. They all of a sudden just completely tapered off and didn't build at all. So now the question is, how will they approach this? And now we actually have the patented Sheepy turret spot behind the point. He made like an entire nerd essay about why this is a good sentry spot. So now we're going to see it in action. So I am hyped to see this.
I think he has done this. I think he did it in the grand final, or one of the playoff games in High this season, and it worked quite well on a few of the last pushes where they defended. Yeah, and yeah, I'd like to see it. I haven't read the nerd essay that he wrote, as you were saying, but I'm sure he has very good reasons for putting it there. I mean, it is a lot harder to reach than the top right position. That's pretty standard for most teams. Shampoo taking quite a bit of damage in main. Everyone else for Red Team is really passive on the balcony. I think I don't really know what they're trying to do here. It doesn't look like anyone's going for any sort of play.
Yeah, and there's no banners either to boot, so yeah, I think they're just waiting for it, and they might actually just catch out this engineer. Nope, the engineer caught them out. You know, he's not caught in there. Now he's behind lines. Gonna try to take down the scout now. Burger's too strong. And a soldier outside as well. Mr. Epic peeking forward. That was pretty weird. Like the engineer completely overextending and then just killing a soldier just on his own. Just easy. Scout mains are pretty good at these hit scan classes, it would seem. But that will open up an avenue for actually going off class, but they will not take it. So, you know, I wonder what is the overall plan
Sheepy's
right
pushing
now?
up in main as engineer. He's not been spotted. Demo sees him now, but he's just going to be playing in lower lobby on that health kit. He gets the sightline onto Ariel, but doesn't get any damage off really, so he's just going to get cleaned up. Another opportunity for the Underdogs to send in some sort of playmaker, try and get something to happen. It looks like Shampoo's peeking bottom right, put some pressure on that soldier, but he takes a lot of damage and he does die for it. Mr. Epic doing well to get that frag.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Mr. Epic has a banner as well. Or maybe it's the other soldier. Yeah, it is. It is Tops that's on a banner. You know, sometimes we actually see two soldiers on a banner. And Shibi's gonna once again just walk out here, try to see if he can pressure people back. He will pressure them back, and he will also not die. So I suppose that worked out. The Tops once again just getting out here, doing a ton of damage, and now he definitely has a banner. He did like 250 damage to that soldier. And, you know, a soldier died. That was a Shampoo. Has he got a banner? He has indeed. So I think we're just going to see Shampoo try to spam it out. And what this means is that we're probably going to be sitting here for a while. Because banners are just abound.
Yeah. I actually do really like what I've seen from Sheepy so far. I don't know if maybe that was something you mentioned in the nerd essay, but because the sentry's behind the point, it doesn't run the immediate risk of getting killed as soon as they push, so he doesn't need to maintain it and keep it repaired. So he can play kind of loose on the engineer, and when they open up a pick, he's the one that can go for a play. Perhaps it's not as, you know, high chance of getting one as like a soldier pick, yeah. But he doesn't need to. He doesn't lose anything by doing that, because if they lose like a soldier in a stack, then an engineer isn't that great for defending last if you're one player down. But if you've still got your scouts and soldier and demo, and you've just lost an engineer, but you've still got the sentry up, it's really like quite good, because they still need to cover a lot of space before they get to the sentry. So I think Sheepy's perhaps very right in his sentry position. We do see Fluo on the spy. He's walking up behind Menti now, and he gets the stab.
There we go. Finally, we got it up. There's still a banner to walk through, but here comes the Uber. There we go. Banner has been popped, but the soldier's on the point already. I think he's just about to jump into the tube. And now, right now, the Synagogue is doing zero work. But there we go. People on the point. The banner's just doing work itself, and I think everyone's just gonna have to get out. It's scary. There's an engineer on the hunt, and the Synagogue is still up. They did nothing on that push at all.
Mon had a nice jump out onto Ariel, the red medic, but he didn't hit the second rocket. I think he got a pretty strange surf. Shampoo now trying to recontest the Spire, takes a lot of early damage, and they're going to have to back up because they've got a lot of weak players coming into this, but they're going to commit to the contest. They get the first pick onto Tobbs, Shampoo trades, and the frags are going the way of Weebtunnel tactics. Sheepy chasing unable into lobby, and he might be able to get onto Menti. I think Menti got a saw there, and he should be fine. Ariel, Demos, and Virgo are going to be backing up here. Demos might get caught, takes a lot of damage, but he manages to get out, and big advantage, or not big advantage, 20% advantage from the back of that saw, I think, from Menti as they're coming into mid.
Oh, a scout coming in from the side as well. Medic getting completely jumped right there. Mr. Epic just hitting the fat rocket. That's going to get the medic down, and if they just play together here in mid, that's going to be really, really clean. But just once again, oh, Mr. Epic is just going to keep on going, and he tried to go really far behind, but he kind of flopped.
Shampoo's hiding in house, and Fluoride's on spy. I don't know if they've spotted him. Shampoo's in now, hits the first rocket, gets the second. Menti's on 40 HP. Fluoride could just decloak, and
he just got hit by a sticky, actually.
Yeah,
like,
I don't think Turo noticed. Turo's looking behind him, so maybe he saw that sticky bounce. Maybe they can expect the spy, but it looks like they'll be pushing before Fluoride can get in position to use this, as they've got their full Uber charge coming in now with the scout. They've got a pyro to deal with, and he's doing so much work to deny this Uber. They do finally get him, and Fluoride goes down in the backlines, but they now have to deal with the sentry. Unable to going down in the spawn door as well. This is a really good push so far from Weebtunnel Tactics. They're just playing the point. Demos is above with the stickies, and he's doing so well to hold the point. But the frags go the way of Weebtunnel, and they do end up getting the push.
Yeah, it's going to make it 1-1. And that was just a really clean push in overall. I don't know, it got kind of messy. I thought maybe that Meg was about to save it. He did get one kill, so, you know, just one more saw, perhaps he would have had an Uber, but no, that's not going to be around. And that's going to make it 1-1 with about 11 minutes remaining. So this is anyone's game right now, and so far the middles have been, I don't know, mostly favoring underdogs, but you know, it hasn't been all that clear cut, and medics tend to die. It looks like it's going to be a Valley push right now coming out from the Lolly squad. So they've actually been doing extremely well so far. Shibi getting those 2 first kills, but everyone else has just backed off for underdogs, and they are out of there and unable to get cleaned up as well. So a soldier comes in, oh my god, Ariel gets taken down. That's really huge, and oh my god, Turo just jumping in and piping people. And Demo's going to get caught out as well. That's going to be a Sheepy 4K on that mid.
Yeah, 18 seconds on that spawn timer for Demo. So with the late Demo death, they should be able to get into last with this advantage before there's any stickies on the point, or at least before there's any real area denial. It looks like they're just hanging around in trash for now. 4 seconds before demo spawns, Mon taking the forward spawn as well. But they've got plenty of time to use this advantage. It's more than 80% right now. And they're up against a Pyro and Sentry in top right, as we saw in the last push. Shampoo hiding in main as well.
Yeah, it's just all about, you need to focus on this Pyro spot. I don't know, Pyro's not even in the proper position. There he goes, finally he's around. He's actually not taking any damage. So Pyro eventually does go down, and they do get the Sentry down, but that's the only thing they really have. And here comes the Soldier in from behind. Actually, eventually he dies. Tomba takes a ton of damage for it. And there's still a high ground right now for Menti and his crew. They're just really fighting it, and a nice pipe from Turo. That could really change this whole thing. Ariel actually gets another one, but now it's just demos on the point, and he will go down. So another pretty damn good push, and that's going to make it 2-1.
Yeah, finally properly capitalizing on that advantage, really using it to their best, and having a really clean last push. Not many of them died there, and they dealt with the objectives one at a time. Got the Pyro, got the Sentry, and managed to play the point. Demo's still trying to do the point play in the tube, and it worked pretty well, but it wasn't quite enough. On this mid, he will be going house. Turo's gone balcony. The soldiers from Weebtunnel Tactics were quite passive at the start of the mid last time, and it looks like they're doing the same. Demos goes down really early. Nice aggression from Sheepy, and Fluoride not able to do anything as well. So there's just some red players kind of caught off in the middle of this midpoint here. Tobbs going in and getting some frags, Mon combining as well. It's only Shampoo remaining alive for Underdogs, and that was a really clean mid, just carefully timed aggression from Weebtunnel Tactics, and won that point cleanly.
Yeah, that was complete slaughter, basically. It seems as soon as Sheepy gets behind, it's just almost a lost mid every single time. He did it in the beginning as well, and it did get a ton of damage done. But right now his team was just capitalizing on it as well. So that's going to be a full Uber advantage. They can go wherever they want. They're probably going to be top left, as usually what people do. Even Shampoo going down, he was trying to make some things happen. You know, you do need to take some chances when you're down like this. But here we go. The Uber comes in from up top. The Scout and the Demo Man tries to take down this Pyro, and they will get him very quickly. And the Demo Man is down. So there's just a Scout on the point. He's going to cap it out. That was one of the easiest pushes I've ever seen.
Yeah. They'd switched the Sentry to the other side of their hold, which is fair enough, but again, Virgo wasn't in position as Pyro. He was still on the stairs and not at the choke at the right time. The first time he did, he was playing Pyro and held that choke, he delayed the push significantly, and that was, I think, when they held, but this time, or the last 2 times, he wasn't really in a good position, so maybe a bit of miscommunication there. Tomba, I'm looking at him on this mid, playing kind of aggressively. Sheepy on the other side of the mid. Sheepy's in just now. Virgo getting combined on rather by Turo and Sheepy. Mon is dealing with a Scout that is so aggressive onto Menti. Menti down to 40 HP, but with only 3 players left alive for Underdogs. Shampoo on 35 HP. They are going to just be backing up because they don't have the health to contest the position on second.
Yeah, it seems so weird how, again, Sheepy is just able to get in through the flank so easily every single time and do a ton of work. It's just going to end up with another situation where all of a sudden we have Underdogs just holding their own last.
I think they know that they're on even Ubers, and Sheepy takes the early spawn switch to Spy. Not just checking for off classes, he is going into lower lobby just now, so we should be seeing a Spy play. And with the timing of this, they haven't been sitting in a stalemate for too long, and it's not often that you see people go off classes straight out of their spawn from mid, so with the opening pick now onto Shampoo, who continues to play in this really risky position in main. I think Sheepy is going to use that pick to make something happen.
It's bad right now. The soldiers are drawing fire to where he's trying to enter. Finally, he's going to make it in there. And it doesn't seem like anyone from Underdogs actually seem to understand that this is what's going on right now. So he's actually in a pretty good position. So Sheepy just calling everything out right now. He's spotted the pyre.
I think this is just his favourite part of the map for a Sentry, is by everything. He just likes to be behind the point there.
Yeah, and we see a bunch of spam coming out right now. That means that there's going to be a bunch of noise. And here comes the Uncloak, and perfect timing. He's even going to just cloak out of there alive. Wow. What a play.
Uber coming in off the back of that medic pick from Sheepy. Virgo doing a little bit tonight the push, but Shampoo's going to come in as well, and they're just going to get cleaned up. Not able to do anything. Demos with stickies on the point and Fluoride on the top right shutter, but there's just too much. It's going to overwhelm them. Turo with some nice frags, and they do play the point. before Fluoride can do anything.
Yeah, really crucial there. Nobody seemed to even suspect the spy play on the side of Underdogs. You know, if my boy Gotti was in here, he would have called it for sure. But I don't know where he is right now. But yeah, just Sheepy just going spy preemptively, we can basically call it, right? Like he didn't suicide in first, and I guess that threw them off. You know, it was just kind of one step ahead play. Just smart overall. Both demos are going to go balcony here. And those both soldiers will actually jump in really aggressively from Underdogs. Floyd is going to get way behind. Menti will actually get taken down by Demos. A nice fight from him. And an air shot and choke. The Demos will just get healed up as well.
Ariel gets caught off, just ran into the choke. I don't think they expected there to be two soldiers really close. Demos was quite weak and he was passed up. And now Tobbs gets the trade frag onto Demos from 2 escape plans.
Oh, Unable wins his 1v1 as well. Again, and then Unable goes in there and actually gets the medkit. And now it's just a melee fight. Mr. Epic taking down Unable. That was a wild fight on so many fronts, and just a bunch of 1v1s getting won by different people. But eventually, it looks like Lolly Scott will be able to edge out this mid.
A total of 3 melee hits from the Weebtunnel Tactic Soldiers. Big air shot coming out from Mr. Epic on the Spire. He's somehow still alive with the escape plan out on 47 HP. Jumps out of retop, he's going to get chased down though. Surely Burgo does clean up that frag, but it's created the opening on choke. They've all turned their backs to it, and Weebtunnel Tactics are flying through in with 10% advantage. Fluoride on the flank gets 2 good rockets onto Menti, but he's still alive. The scout's in at choke. Menti's surely going to go down. He's so weak, and the soldier of Shampoo does clean him up. Sheepy is in the backlines behind Spire. He's just going to try and get some time for his team. But Underdogs aren't going to commit too much to him.
Yeah, he started out on the Spire, decided not to go for it. He's going to try to go outside and pressure Spire, but no, there's a soldier just waiting for him up there, just spams him out really easily. Now it's just a matter of not getting caught out by him at any point. We see Shampoo just completely abandoning Spire, and he's just going to play it, wait for the back, and when they have this much time on Spire, they don't need to really do anything about it. Sheepy, he's at the spawn right now, but nobody's spawning, so I think he's just going to try to make it back all the way into spawn, and while he's doing that, everyone else is just taking top lobby for unexpected, or Underdog, sorry.
So Sheepy goes down, 60% advantage for them. They are going to take this Uber in. They need to make this push work quickly if they want to get back into this game. Sticky's on the point. They will put some pressure on it with the scouts, but they both go down to the trap from Kuro. They're getting cleaned up and they don't really have any position. So Fluoride's on his own. Ariel has backed up, but with 2.5 minutes left in this game and 3 rounds down, I think
Ariel
this
is
is
going
beyond.
for gold. He's not gonna get it this time around.
It was a valiant effort, but to no avail in the end. Scout of Weebtunnel Tactics being Tomba, and Top's coming up with him to just cap the point out here. Unable is in drop down. I think he's going to go for some sort of play onto the medic, but he hasn't spotted him. He gets out onto Spire, everyone but the medic he sees, and he doesn't know who to shoot. Tobbs manages to stay alive on 30 HP before Unable goes down. Fluoride is hiding in house as well. He's probably going to get a pick onto Sheepy. He's got his back down. 2 nice rockets. Not a problem.
Oh, Mr. Epic managed to come in there and take down Fluoride barely. Just he actually missed a bunch of easy rockets, but here we go. The banner from last. Going to get carried on into second here. And right now it's just Tops leading the charge, spreading that love with this banner. Nobody's really taking damage, and that should enable his entire team to just move forward. There is a soldier in the house behind him that's very uncomfortable, and now Unable as well, just running in there for some reason. And here comes the repush, and there's even some time on Spire going on. Soldier will eventually jump off. That was Shampoo making his way behind, but everyone else had been just completely sent back right here. And here we go. Come on, Shampoo, you can do it. Oh, that was Fluoride actually. So both soldiers were behind. Alrighty then.
Shampoo's still way behind. He's looking at them now as they're coming into the choke, and now he starts to press the back gap as the Uber comes into the midpoint from Weebtunnel Tactic. They have sent Sheepy back and Tobbs as well by the looks of it to try and contest. And Unable is going to try and contest this midpoint. He doesn't get it in time, so the back gap won't work as Shampoo goes down in the backlines as well. But Ariel's held on to their Uber, so big advantage for them as they're trying to cap this midpoint. They've got plenty of time to use it because it's more than 60% of an advantage at this point. They might just wait for their spawners because going forward 2 players down is kind of risky. But with the stickies on the choke, I'm presuming they've been called, they're going to rotate through to house to try and push this, probably through Hunter.
Yeah, like big brain Shampoo, he knew that it was like it's that time. You got to get on Spire and get those air shots, right? Like that's the only reason to really play. They're actually gonna go behind here, see what they can do. They catch out a bunch of players in the trash area, but they don't really commit to the chase. And now everyone's just jumping onto the Spire. Come at us, bro. Jump the Spire so we can get these air shots. That's all we want. But no, nobody from Weebtunnel tactics are abiding, and Shampoo even tried to go in very aggressively. He would get taken down. There's about 15 seconds left on the counter. People from Menti has come in here to block the point. So everyone else is just scattered from Underdogs. We see Ariel just eats a pipe up here. Otherwise, just dancing around. Eventually gets sawed down, and now comes the final, just diving off the point, and that's going to be it. It's going to be 4-1. The team's just playing it out until the very end, and that's going to be the first win. They're going to go up 2-0 Weebtunnel tactics, and Underdogs will maintain their underdog role, being down 1-0.
Yeah, I think two of those important rounds came off the back of good mids from Weebtunnel tactics. I think they were kind of struggling on the initial mids, but they sorted it out. I think Mr. Epic and Tobbs had some really nice synergy. They played passive and put damage onto the aggressive players for the start of mids, and then they committed to the same sides in the second half of the mids. And it worked out really well for them because they ended up being on last with 80% Uber advantages because they kept their medic alive and Ariel had died on the mid. And then they converted two of those last pushes quite successfully with really nice pushes. So credit to Weebtunnel tactics. I think strong mid fights and strong last pushes are two really important parts to have in your game, and it makes sense that they had quite a dominant showing today as a result of those being good.
Yep, indeed. Just looking at the logs, it looks like both soldiers had a really good game coming out from Weebtunnel tactics. Tops going 23 for 12, having 321 damage per minute. That's really good. And then Mr. Epic also, he went 17 for 19, which is not nearly as good, but he still had 277 damage per minute. He was number 2 on the entire server. So that's really good. Actually, all soldiers did extremely well. I would actually think Badlands is a pretty good scout map. I guess these soldiers are just really good.
Turo had a big game as well, stepping in for Thea.
Oh, yeah.
23 for 8. And I noticed he had a lot of really good trap kills in quite important parts of the map. He completely denied Uber advantages pushing out. He got 2 kills on like more than 2 or 3 occasions, I think, with his sticky traps, one being on point. So I don't know whether that's Underdogs not paying too much attention and kind of checking the right places at the right times, but Turo made it work, and credit to him.
Yeah, indeed. He even got the blind deaths in the, just to set off everyone's back radar. Still don't know where that trap actually was, where he got 2.
I know there was one of them that was just above the top lobby entrance, and there was another one above the stairs, but I think only one of them got a pick. I don't know where the other one was, but I think he had like 3 different locations stickied off. It wasn't like just one part. I think it was just kind of lucky that at the time he got 2 picks.
Yeah, indeed.
Maybe it's just a hard read, that game sense debt.
Yeah, like extra brainy, just 3D chess. He's playing 3D chess, we're playing checkers. He's got this. Speaking of 3D chess, we saw Sheepy's sentry gun, and then he would just park it behind the point, and then he'd actually go out and try to do really aggressive plays. And let's just say that he has a 5% chance of getting a really good pick. Like, that's actually crucial and makes a difference. Is that worth it? Because, as you mentioned several times, like, his sentry gun is not really in any danger as such. So, maybe
it's
that's
quite
worth
nice. I mean, I didn't really think of that when I first saw it, but like after seeing how he plays engineer when his sentry is there, it becomes clear that that's what he's trying to do. It's like they don't need to lose a soldier or a scout to go for the counter sack. So they really don't run any risk, because if the NG dies, even though it's a low percentage play, it's like pretty unlikely that he'll get anything. It's pretty safe, because even if he's dead, they've still got the sentry, which is the main part of the engineer, and it doesn't really run any risk of going down. So I quite like it. I mean, it is almost impossible that he'd get a pick on the engineer. I think any times that he did get onto the medic, he only did like 30 damage before he was killed.
Yeah.
But I quite like it, because in the event that he does get that medic pick, it would be insane to have the NG pushing out of last and forcing or dropping the med.
Yeah, and we did see him push out and actually like getting a soldier and doing like a bunch of damage to them. So you can definitely see how, maybe even if he doesn't himself get the pick, like he can actually go outside and then every once in a while he will actually like do enough damage that you can like sneak maybe a soldier out through main or scout, and something like that where you actually force them back because of how aggressive he is, and then you can make a play off of that. So even if he doesn't do it himself, then maybe it can kind of carry on into the next one. So yeah, I do like it. Yeah, all right. We're actually going to restart the stream right now, so just make sure you refresh it, and the stream will be right back. And when you come back, it's going to be Deox Fan Club versus Weebtunnel Tactics, I believe. So stick around, just keep refreshing until the stream is back, and we'll see you then.